Hey, so I just want to chat about what it is I've been doing over the last few days, and then what it is I'm going to be doing for the next week. So the context for this, I'm currently working at a debating camp in China. So I'm in this like hotel. So this hotel is like far too like the sort of thing that I would never go to. In that I would never afford to be able to go somewhere like this. So this is the lobby. This is the size of the chandelier, right? Like this is not a thing that I can ever, you know, not on a gap year, right? Like it's massive. There's lots of marble everywhere. This is a really nice place. What I'm doing here is like lots of teaching-y things. It's lots of like teaching people how to debate, teaching skills. It's really good fun. So part of why I'm enjoying it here so much is that like I'm around like hella qualified people. So I'm just kind of with really interesting people. One of my favorite things is just like chatting to people and finding out what they're like, why the hell they are where they are. It's always really interesting. And the advantage of being somewhere weird is you find weird stories. So I've spent 2 nights in a row just being up until 1 a.m. with people just chatting about like why they are teaching, why they are debating, why their masters was in what their masters was in. And it's all super interesting. Because I just enjoy these things because like I enjoyed the like debating lab that I went to, debating camp that I went to like a long time ago now. And it's why it's then super interesting to kind of like be in the administrative side of that, to have to like organize things and run things. That element's fun, like running things, but also like, so one of the guys who's here is an incredibly good teacher. So I kind of like gave a presentation on like tax, fun. I found it interesting. But then I ended up sitting down with this guy and I was like, okay, so how do you teach things? And this conversation started at 10 p.m. and then it ended at 1, right? And I just had this super interesting, like, the best way to go about planning things, the best way to go about teaching things. And that was, like, fascinating. Like, I feel there's so much of this that's just super interesting. Because there's so much of it I've never considered, right? Like, I've never considered, I always saw my teachers turn up. I always saw them being very, very together, very prepared. And it's weird to see there's almost like an art behind this, because I was like cognizant of the fact that some people were better than others, some people were worse than others. But like, I don't know. It's interesting learning how to do that. And I guess that, I don't know. It's just interesting. It's interesting knowing how much there is to teaching, which sounds stupid, right? But it's not like, because I initially thought a teacher was essentially a conduit for information almost. Like, here I am, I present the facts, you learn the facts. But I mean, obviously that's not how it works. In the most of the time, I mean, outside of prepping for an exam syllabus, of course, most of the time you're teaching like a comprehension of a subject, a comprehension of a topic. And doing that's really interesting. That's kind of my like first spiel over. 3 spiels for this. First being that one about what it is I'm doing here, 2 about conversations, and 3 about purgatory. So that's that spiel. Conversations, basically, one thing I've kind of found here is I've kind of had 2 like things that have made me very happy with Chinese here. In that I made a pun like a week ago. Basically, so there's a Chinese. This is not going to be funny, but I'm going to explain it anyway. The word Chinese for grass is like cao, like third tone, so cao. And there's a Chinese phrase which is like, so there was this like general during the Warring States period, who conveniently, whenever you spoke his name, would appear as he was magic, which helps when you're a general. Well, maybe it was Warring States. It was in 3 Kingdoms. I forget. Anyway, so yeah, there's the phrase in Mandarin which is like Dao Cao Dao Cao 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 No, sorry. The phrase is Shuo Cao 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 Dao, which is basically you speak of Cao Cao, Cao Cao arrives. And basically I made a pun that involved that sounding like grass. But I made a pun. I don't know, that just makes me really happy. It makes me happy that I can make bad jokes in a second language, which is fun. Also the second thing here is I had the first like meaningful conversation I've had in Chinese recently, which was a really big like milestone for me almost, in that it was a level of like, I had a chat with someone about things, and it wasn't this sort of, because up until now, I've described my Mandarin as procedural, in that I can get around most procedures, right? I can order food, I can like, from context clues and language, I can guess pretty much whatever's going to happen. But I had a chat with someone, I don't know, like about why they were here, about how long they've been studying, what they're doing at university, and that just kind of made me happy. And the third, somewhat comic note on which I want to end is that this hotel is purgatory. So I like it here, but I'm convinced that I'm living in purgatory because everything about this hotel is okay. Food, average, bland, all of it bland. The Wi-Fi spotty, but as soon as you get annoyed at it, it comes back on again. Also, there's this grand piano here. And it's one of these weird ones where it plays itself. So you'll be walking past it and all the keys will be going down. I don't know, man. It's just crazy. Basically, I haven't left this one hotel in like 5 days. And while this place is big... Oh yeah, it's also unfathomably big. And that you'll be... Like, it has karaoke rooms here. Like, in the hotel. They're impressed. Like... It's just cool. I don't know, but this place is so big, and it's weird, and I haven't left it too long. Very soon I'm going to do a similar camp in Shanghai. When I say very soon, I mean tomorrow, and I'm really looking forward to that. I think that'll be really good fun. Also because I'm seeing a really good friend there, someone called Fiona Mitchell, who I haven't seen in a while, and it's just good to talk to other English people and other people with like commonality of background. Because, like, I really love all of the, like, woo, adventure China, but every so often it's just nice to have an anecdote to be like, I remember CBeebies. Like, I really enjoy being here at the deep end, but the thing I'm really looking forward to is just chatting to someone with commonality of youth, which sounds weird. It's also not a sentence I ever thought I'd hear myself uttering. I imagine it sounds strange for you, dear listener, to hear. But yeah, I don't know. So all in all, everything's going really well. The thing that's on the horizon that I'm really looking forward to is that Mum and Kay are arriving in China really soon. And I really can't wait for that. So, yeah. Probably next time you'll hear from me will be a story about Shanghai.